What's going on here? Another roller coaster of a week. Yesterday's 30-year bond auction was not favorable and put a stop to a recent downward trend. So we lost a little bit of ground too, so they came up a bit. That along with actually the Central Bank of Japan appointing a new chief who's expected to be more hawkish and thus impact global yields, which impacts, of course, Main Street America. So let's talk a couple of pieces of good news out from a quarterly survey put on by Pulsonomics and Zillow. They serve about 150 of the top economists in the US, and here's what the top economists have said. These are their predictions. They're not mine. This is somebody else's, so blame somebody else, not me. First, for 2023 and 2024, they feel as though the highest of the rates that we've seen are already behind us, meaning that already was in the first month of the year. So that's great news on the rate front, still expecting rates to come down. Now, second, over the next 5 years, they see housing prices increasing 23.3%. How can that be? I've heard people say we're in a crash. Somebody the other day literally said that outright, and then the house that they were trying to buy went over like $50,000. Anyway, those are probably the same people who didn't buy in 2019 because they were predicting a crash. Pro tip here, if you're listening to somebody who's always predicting a crash, they're gonna be right at some point in history. It'll probably be a lot poorer than the rest of us, but they will, once every couple decades or so, be right. Anyways, why is this prediction of 23.3? It's demand. I got sick to my stomach this week when I got a call asking for me to explain appraisal gap. Are we back there again? We may be with limited inventory. The last 5 contracts that have come by my desk had an average of 10% over asking. Some had those dreaded appraisal gaps. Some waived inspections, firstborn child riders, all that stuff. Unless inventory magically appears, we may be heading for another rough year in real estate with all that ugliness there again. Buyers, what does this mean for you? Well, I jump before the seasonal craziness starts. With the projections of home appreciation and lower interest rates in the future, you're likely to be able to improve your payment situation sometime in the near future as well. But jump now before everybody else does. And of course, prices go up, competition goes up, and now you're putting on all those crazy riders that you're giving away everything just to buy the house. So that's it. There's your mortgage rate update. We'll see you next week.